Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Awaken Tarot. There's a website on the back, myryve.com. There's a art director. Her name is Sally Willems, Willms. The book is stuck in the box, honestly. I can't get it out. But if you check out that website, you can find what you're looking for, I'm sure. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. Website at the bottom, heyhouse.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Just smacked my tongue. That was interesting. What have we got going on for Sagittarius? Like, what is going on? Ooh, that card's showing up a lot today. It's the Lover's card, by the way. It just keeps showing up, which is not bad. Like, I'm like, oh no, the Lover's card. Not gonna fall all over myself about it, but I don't know. Do we want more? Or are we good? I think we're good. Okay. 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 So we got a lot of Earth coming in here, and by a lot there's like 3, but it's where they're showing up. It's not bad. I just feel like when there's a lot of Earth for Sagittarius, it can be very daunting and very heavy. You got the Knight of Pentacles starting out the situation. You knew what it was about. You're like, all right, that's what I have to do. That's what I'm going to do, and here we go. The situation does seem to have some variables to your liking. But I'm also getting like... No, I feel like it is holding you down a little bit. Like, it's very ironic, because I get a lot of success here, a lot of good things. But, like, you go from that to the Hierophant, which is an Earth card, talks about Taurus sometimes. You don't have to be dealing with a Taurus. But it's just very much the rules. And when I'm getting, like, this Hierophant energy in the effect of your life, this could easily be a work thing. Doesn't have to be. Could be a family thing. Could be something else. But whoever you have to deal with, there's no way around it. The rules are the rules. The boundaries are the boundaries. And when I'm feeling the Hierophant energy, I'm getting these might be some pretty tight boundaries. Kind of like, you know, finding a way to kind of swim, or not swim, like move the way you want to move. I'm kind of feeling like, you know, that candle flicker. You want to kind of move around. You want some more places to go. And it's just kind of like you're a candle. You're like, you're just here. You're at the tip of the candle, and that's just where you are. You're burning down, and it's just kind of like that Hierophant energy is saying, yep, that's where you stay. You just keep working at it the way I want you to, and that's what I want. And it's kind of like, oh, okay. It's not bad. Like, I feel like the situation isn't bad, but it's kind of like I'm also noticing this energy. Can we get a little bit more? Like these two cards coming out together is something. Knight of Swords, and the Star card. I was just going to say Sagittarius, but the Star card is actually Aquarius, if you want to know. I don't have the ability to move like I want to. These two cards coming in are actually how you feel about it if this reading is hitting. I think it's even worse if the situation is actually good. It just feels so heavy and restrictive. The Ten of Swords is that devastation. The Three of Swords is heartbreak. And I feel like it's kind of like I have people who count on me, but I don't... It's like I really don't like doing this. It's like, I'm going to use the analogy of insurance because it makes sense to me. I've worked for two different companies over my life. Good jobs, good money, good hours. All that stuff is good. But it's like, it's for me anyway, it's so painfully boring. It's like painfully boring. It's just so boring. So boring. So bad. So boring, so bad. Just like, it's just one of those things where it's like, the people are good. Nothing's bad, but like you walk in and you just feel drained already because you're like, I don't want to sit here and do the same thing again. Like, I don't want to do it again. Like, I've done it 50 million times and now I got to do it 50 million more. I'm like, ugh. I feel like that's the energy you have here, which makes sense, very valid, especially because I can relate to it. So, especially because I can relate to it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally valid. Not that anybody should argue with that anyway. Like, you feel the way you feel. There's so much more you want to do. You have so many ideas. You're just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to burst out. I'm ready to get things going. I want things to be shaken up a little bit more. You got energy you want to use. This is where you want to be. The Knight of Wands. Nope, that's not the Knight of Wands. Is the Knight of Wands out here? No. It's the King of Wands, which I constantly want to refer to as the Knight of Wands at the moment. I don't know why. Either way, you're ready to move forward and put some changes into effect. This card is highlighting the Ace of Wands, even though I'm putting it near the King. It's highlighting the Ace of Wands energy. You're ready. You're like, I just feel like I've been stagnant too long. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So, we're just acknowledging something that's already happening. Keep that in mind for this reading. Your energy needs to grow. It needs to expand. I feel like this might physically make you feel held down in a way that it's just not working for you anymore. Okay, I'm going to push my luck. This is a general read. Please take it with a grain of salt. Whatever the situation is, you don't have to leave. Okay? You don't. But they're also giving you this heads up. This organization is an Earth card to me as well. The energy here is not conducive to the way you live life. You can stay here. I keep getting that you can stay. So whatever, especially if it's a work situation, I don't see you having to leave. But I don't see your light flourishing. It's just, your light is not flourishing here. It's just not happening. You may believe that you have to stay here for one reason or the other. I would invite you to kind of just consider options. It's kind of like I've talked to people before and they're like, well, I have this job because of the money I make, and it allows me to have this house with this camp and these perks over here and this new car. And then maybe I'm that one who kind of asks, like, is that car, like, how often are you driving that car? And is how much you love that car and how much you love this, like, is all that like worth it? Like, if you downsize to like a more modest car, if you maybe share some of that camp with a couple other relatives and disperse that bill a little bit, and you move and you go into maybe a nice house, just not as nice as you currently have. If you change all those things and you get to a job you actually like, is your overall life better, or is having day in and day out of going to this situation that you don't care for, feeling this Ten of Swords and this Three of Swords, is it worth all those perks? Which sometimes I have to go into a second analogy or a second like how much of your life in a year do you spend at this job? Like 5 days a week, 6 days a week for some of you, and you're not happy? Does it balance? Does the car, does the house, does the camp, and whatever other perks, does that really balance? Does that really balance? It's just questions to ask yourself. What things could change? What possibilities are out there? It's all about the way this is going. Is it really worth it for how you're feeling? If this reading is hitting, keep that in mind. Because like I keep feeling this energy, it's just kind of like you have a lot of good things here, and I feel like that might be what's holding you back the most. Kind of like, yeah, but there's this, that, and the other thing, and what I'm doing is allowing me that. Take it with a grain of salt. So you can stay if you want, or you have this. You have the Magician. You can make change happen. And I feel like by enacting this card, that's the only way you're going to get rid of these cards. These are not fun. You don't have to do anything. But I feel like this is one of those things where you put your foot out and the road rises up to meet you. I'm probably saying that saying wrong. I'm not even sure how you're supposed to say it. But like the road is going to rise up to meet you. Like the path is going to show itself to you. The way is going to come forward. You're going to have opportunities. You're Sagittarius. You're dynamic. You're amazing. The Sagittarians, I know, they blow it out of the water. They just do. They also tend to not want to be the leader. It's funny. But they're awesome people. they just blow it out of the water. They just do. It's funny. It's not like they're trying to sometimes. They just do. It just seems like it happens. Opportunities coming forward. This is socially, you have support. You have people who will back you on this, who believe in what you're doing. Wherever you are now may be good, but there might be something better out there. There is support out here in the right place. In the right place. I'm not saying everybody in your life is supportive, but the right people that match with you will support you. I feel like you know who those people are. And I feel like they're going to help you move forward in the way that you need to. Because I feel like they're saying, the universe is saying, you're a very dynamic energy. You're a very dynamic energy. And you can make a very positive impact somewhere else. This place doesn't feel good to you, doesn't mean this place is bad. But if it doesn't feel good and you don't really enjoy it anymore, it doesn't mean that you're not worth it. It means that you might be even more worth it somewhere else, because maybe that's one of the reasons the energy doesn't feel good to you anymore. Maybe your influence has corrected or made things better here as best they can, and now it's time for you to help somewhere else. Take it with a grain of salt. General read, blah, blah, blah. Now this is very interesting to me, because these are both fire cards. It doesn't mean that, you know, the next situation that you go into won't have restriction. But I'm getting, like, when I get that Nine of Wands, wands are fire. I read Nine of Wands as fire. Because you can burn a wand, that's why it's fire. I don't know why I'm just explaining that, but if you're wondering, that's why. The Nine of Wands is holding a position, but there's a lot more room. This is more compatible to you. The next situation also is going to have boundaries, but it may have boundaries you can live with. If I was going to use an analogy, like the place you currently are, it's like living in a 5x5 cube, and you can't get out of it. And it's just like, no matter what I do, I'm just always here. I'm always in this 5x5 cube. This new situation that's possible for you, it's like it's being able to roam a county. Like where I live in the United States, a county can be quite big. Like the county I live in, I want to say it takes like 4 hours to go from the top of it to the bottom of it. Maybe 3. But like, that's quite a distance. It's like having to take a car ride for 3 hours to get from one end to the other versus a 5x5 cubicle. I'm just saying. Boundaries are still going to be there, but they may be boundaries you could live with. Boundaries you could be happy in. And I feel currently they're so restrictive, I feel like I'm suffocating. It's up to you. It's up to you, but they're saying, what's best for you? What's going to make you happy? Where do you want to be? You don't have to accept the situation if you don't want to. That's all this is meant to say. It's like, you have possibilities. Your concerns are real. The way you feel is real and valid, but you have possibilities. And all it takes is considering possibilities, and change could happen for you. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.